Hey, what's going on? We're back with another video. So today, what we're gonna be doing is the NBA season just ended last night. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and predict where I think that these teams are going to be. We have five categories. We have elite. I think that those are the teams that you have the best chance of competing in their respective conferences. I do believe that they have a chance. Contending, I think it's a team that will probably be in the playoffs, probably on the outside of that. Average is a team that I expect to be like a play-in kind of team. The bubble, I'm kind of going to give that to teams that I think um, could go either way between bad and average. So I'm going to put them right in there. But yeah, last night New York ended up winning the NBA championship. So shout out to them. Congratulations. They deserve the dub. Uh, but yeah, going forward, hey, my name's Cody Lear. I don't do a lot of NBA content, but I'm going to try to do a little bit more stuff going forward. Try to get a little bit more consistent for you guys because I do appreciate every like, every comment, every subscribe. Like, thank you guys so much. If you do end up liking my videos, I appreciate you to the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna do my best here, and thank you for watching. But I'm gonna shut up now. Let's get into it. Atlanta, to be honest with you, they were good. They were okay this year. I think that they have that's a team. That's a team I still think is a play-in team next year. They have a lot of talent though, and unfortunately they ran into New York, who was the team of destiny this year. If New York was not the team of destiny, Atlanta might have been able to make it to that second or third row when it comes to the NBA or it comes to the Eastern Conference. Because really there were a lot of teams that we thought were going to be good in the East, and they just didn't turn out to be. And some teams turned out to be pretty solid. Boston, I think Boston is still a contending team. I know I just said it like that, like Boston, but I do truly believe that Boston will still be a contending team as long as they like kind of want to be. They have a pretty decent coaching staff. Their roster is still pretty solid. I could definitely see them being a team that's like in the Eastern Conference Finals or even wins the East next year. It's kind of one of those things. I do believe that they're going to be okay. The Brooklyn Nets, I think, are still going to be bad, unfortunately. I like Brooklyn. I want them to be good, but I just do not think that that's going to be a good team. I mean, I've had so much faith in Brooklyn for years at this point, mostly because I play 2K and I have no idea what the heck I'm talking about when it comes to like true NBA. But I like Brooklyn a lot, so I still think they're going to be unfortunately a bad team. I hope they get it together though. Charlotte Hornets, I still think this is an average team. They got a lot going for them, right? They played really, really well this year. They have Con Canuple, who turned out to be a really good player, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. They still got some pretty good talented players on this team. I think that's a team that's going to be in that kind of like play-in situation. I think they're going to be able to compete in the East. The East is obviously not as loaded as the other side. So, but in my personal opinion, I think Charlotte will be an average team next year. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think that they found something this year, and hey, who knows? Maybe if they get a couple, one or two big men that really like solidify the crew, they could even be a team competing in the Eastern Conference Finals, the semifinals, or something like that. Chicago Bulls, I still think are going to be bad. It's just as simple when it comes to the Chicago Bulls. I don't have a lot of faith in that team, and it's kind of rough in that regard. But I hope Chicago gets it together. I just don't really see it going forward. But I could definitely be wrong in that regard. But yeah, I'm gonna take Chicago in the bad tier for now. Cleveland, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think this is a team that has potential to. I really don't. When it came to Cleveland, I didn't think Cleveland was one of those teams that really had any business being in the Eastern Conference Finals. They kind of just ran into the team of destiny. New York kind of just beat down everybody except for San Antonio, because San Antonio was a really, really good team. But yeah, I think Cleveland, they're definitely a contender in the Eastern Conference. But if they're in the Western Conference, we'd even probably be putting them in the bubble or average. They just didn't really get it together. Donovan Mitchell, phenomenal player though. Dallas Mavericks, I think that's a team that's kind of on the bubble between the bad and average, especially next year. They have Cooper Flag, who is a really, really good player. They still have some pretty decent players all around. You have a new GM, a new head coach coming in, so hopefully that'll get things figured out over there. I think Dallas has a chance to be a play-in team next year, but they also have a really, really good chance of being bad. Yeah, it's hard for me to pick in that regard, so let me take Dallas there. Denver, In the West, I think they're just average now. Uh, I think there's a few teams. There's a few teams in the West that I would take over Denver at this point. I don't think that Denver's like competing for like a playing spot, but I don't think it's a team that you can really call contending unless they get a lot of work done over there. Yeah, I have to stick with Denver there. They're just kind of average. They still have one of the best players in the league though at the center position with Nikola Jokic, so shout out to him for sure. But yeah, I don't think Denver's like up there. Detroit, Detroit's contending in the East for sure. I don't really have any faith in the Eastern Conference if you can't tell at this point. I think that Cade Cunningham, if you get him a little bit of help, you got something brewing. Jalen Duren obviously needs to improve a little bit, but if he does improve, you keep him on the squad, then you got a pretty really good crew. The problem is that I do think they need a little bit of help from the big men. Tobias Harris had some moments where he played really, really well. I just think it's kind of like the Cade Cunningham show, and as much as you can rely on a player to take over, I don't think that that's going to be a like a surefire thing every year. The Golden State Warriors, I think that they are officially running in the average to bubble. They still have Steph Curry, so let's make sure that's very clear. They still have every right to be considered to be a team in the contending series, like coming up soon. I just don't think that that's going to be the case for now. But Golden State, I still think, is going to be an average crew. They still have some players on the team. I just don't think that they're trending in the right direction. Houston, I think Houston is still a contending team, possibly. They just have way too much talent for me not to think so. You got Kevin Durant over there. You still got Sengun. You still got a pretty good point guard. That's a team that still got a lot of talent, so I do believe it's a contending team, especially. Uh, yeah, I think Houston will be a contender in the West. I, there's a few teams that I'm like, maybe, but I think we'll get there. The Indiana Pacers, I think that they're average. They were bad this year, but they didn't have Halliburton. So that could definitely change things. That's definitely the key right there. I do believe that when Halliburton comes back, that team could still be a competitor in the East, especially. But we got to see. They got to play better. They got to play better than they did this year, and I think they will. I truly do. Clippers, they still have some talent on the team. It's still an average team. I don't think it's like contending guys. I think that they could. Definitely think that they have a potential to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the Clippers at this point. You could even say maybe contending on the West. No, I don't. I'm nope. I'm not gonna lock in with that. Lakers. I'm thinking to myself that that's possibly an elite team. Uh, they still have Luca, still have King James. They really do have a lot of talent everywhere. I think I'm gonna take the Lakers in the elite tier for now, and I definitely could change my mind on that. But I do think that the Lakers are an elite team. They have the potential to be an elite team. That one's gonna bite me in the butt. I can already tell. The Miami Heat. Oh man, I'm putting them on the bubble. They were rough this year. I don't know if that was health or what it was. They have they have a lot of talent though. That's the sucky part. I don't think that team's bad. I don't think that it's average. I think they're just kind of in the middle of that. I think I got to put Miami in there for sure. Memphis, I'm going to put them in bad. They're going to be bad next year. Yeah, they got a lot of draft picks coming up for Desmond Bain, but unfortunately, I think until John Morant is gone, Memphis is going to be a bad team. As much as I'm a Grizzlies fan, that team's got just so much that they got to figure out. Just simple as that. Milwaukee, I'm going to put them on the bubble to bad. The reason I'm going to put them on the bubble for now is I don't know what's going to happen with Giannis. If Giannis ends up coming back, then this is probably a bubble team. To be honest with you, this team was just bad this year. I don't like him at all. Without Giannis, I think that you're just kind of, you're kind of at the bottom of the barrel. I don't think you're going to do much without Giannis. Minnesota Timberwolves, that's a contending team. As long as they got Anthony Edwards breathing, I think that they can be contenders in the West. And the West is loaded. We know the West is loaded. I think that they have I think they had the best talent personally. I don't think anybody in the East was really that like crazy this year. Obviously, New York ended up being crazy, so I was wrong there. But I do think the Timberwolves are still like one of those teams that you have to watch out for. The New Orleans Pelicans. I'm put them in bubble. I think that New Orleans has a chance to make playoffs next year. I'm not saying that they will, but I'm saying they have a real good chance of making it. So I'm gonna put the Pelicans in the bubble. Uh, Possibly bad. I'll throw them bad. I'll throw them bad. I don't think the Pelicans are gonna go like crazy next year. I don't. New York and OKC. That's pretty much cut and dry. Both of these teams are going to be competing next year. OKC is going to be one of those teams that you have to worry about. You have to worry about Shea. You have to worry about the rest of that team. If they can get some big men that can actually be some scary and stop Wemby, then maybe OKC is a real problem. But for now, Thunder are definitely going to be a competitor. New York is the top team in the East. They are going to be for the next year. So we're going to put them in that elite category because, hey, they just won a championship. They could definitely be the team that goes back to back next year. You just never know. Because there was a lot of people that thought OKC had a really good chance of going back to back this year, and they didn't. But New York, that's the team that's elite right now. OKC obviously has a really talented team as well. Oh, yeah. Orlando. I don't. The thing is, Orlando has the roster to be a contending team. But now that they don't have a head coach, that scares me a tiny bit as well. I think average kind of suits them pretty well. Uh, yeah, yeah. I think those three teams in the East have a better chance than Orlando right now. And that's actually why I'm going to put Philly there as well. I think that they have every right to be considered as a team that will be in the playoffs at least. But I don't think either of these teams are blowing anybody away right now, blowing anybody out right now. I think that they're just kind of there. They're kind of like a 5-6 seed. They're not really like 4, 3, 2, 1. So, yeah, I think that they're just kind of average. In fact, I think the Suns fit that mold perfectly as well. That's a team that played beyond what we thought they'd play. So, good for them for sure. Yeah, I think that we have some. I think Phoenix has something cooking though for sure. Shout out to them. But yeah, I think for now I just got to keep them in that like average tier. I don't think that they're like blowing me out of the water. They're not crazy. It's an okay team. Portland, throughout all the crap that they put up with this year, and they still play pretty well, good basketball. I think Portland's a. I think Portland deserves to be in that like average tier as well. They played pretty well for most of the season, and hey, with new stuff coming in, you have to expect them to be better, even better next year. So, San Antonio, I'm gonna put San Antonio up there in the elite tier. Well, of course, I mean they were just in the finals, so I think that that's a team that you had to really worry about going forward. I'm gonna take San Antonio to be in the elite tier for sure. I mean, they're young. They're young. They're gonna be back. I truly do believe that. Toronto. I almost want to put them in contending because I think they're only going to get better. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put Utah in the bubble because I think they got a lot of potential over there for sure. I'm going to put Washington in bad because I still do not expect them to be good next year. Even with Anthony Davis, even with Trae Young, I do not expect a lot from them. I don't. I'm just over it. Toronto, okay. As crazy as it is, if I look at the rest of the East, Toronto has a shot to be in there. So I'm going to put Toronto in the contending for sure. Um, Sacramento, Washington. I don't think either of those teams are going to be like setting the world on fire next year. They're teams that like every time that we get a little bit of potential going forward, we're just kind of like, oh yeah, we think they're going to be something, and they just end up not. Washington, they do have Anthony Davis. They got Trae Young, but those guys are unfortunately hurt a lot, so I don't really know how to have. I really cannot have faith in them. So yeah, I got to keep Washington down there, and I could definitely see that one biting me in the butt as well. Utah, definitely a really good. Utah's got a lot of potential. They got some players on there that I think could be really good going forward. It's just that they got to put it all together for sure. But yeah, I think I like this list. And of course, if you don't like the list, I completely understand. Feel free to comment down below. If you don't mind, leave it a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I would appreciate it so very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all on the next